Hi there, my name is Marla Neufeld. Welcome to the Surrogacy space. I am a reproductive attorney and I practice in the state of Florida. So today we're going to talk about keeping things in the family and whether a family member can act as a surrogate. And I think this is a really beautiful thing that I have helped my clients with. I have represented family members acting as surrogates for their families. I've seen sisters, cousins, other close family friends. I was approached from a mother wanting to carry for her daughter. And so it's absolutely possible. And the legal steps really are the same as if a surrogate was a non-family member. But of course, there's a lot to think about when you're contemplating working with a family member. So, like with any surrogacy matter, it's important that the intended parents have an attorney to represent them and that the intended parents will pay for a separate attorney to represent the family member slash surrogate. I know amongst family, it is hard to kind of wrap your brain around why we need a lawyer, why we need a legal agreement. But with family, the importance is not necessarily elevated, but it's just as important as if it was a non-family member, because you want to make sure that everybody fully understands what they're signing, the commitments they're entering into, and really to feel like each of the respective parties has the free will and ability to fully ask for what they need and make sure nobody feels any, kind of, although not intentional, but pressure in agreeing to certain terms. And really just to make sure everybody is properly represented at the contract stage of the process when working with a family member. And of course, when proceeding with a surrogate, even with a family member, the same medical considerations need to be taken into account. The potential surrogate will need to be medically evaluated by the parent's fertility clinic, and I still need to undergo a psychological evaluation at the beginning of the process in Florida. That is not a legal requirement, but it's an absolute best practice and one that I stand very firmly by that I think is important to do. A proper mental health evaluation, very important to do within all matches and also with a family member acting as a surrogate to make sure really just emotionally everybody understands what they're getting into, what the obligations will be of everybody, and how they're going to share this information with the family and the child in the future. So I definitely think that's not a step to be skipped, being that everyone's family and of course their family trust each other and things like that. But I still think all those same steps need to be taken. And of course, it's important just to make sure that everyone consults with their own lawyer to understand what the legal process will be like, whether there's going to be certain payment terms to the family member. Sometimes with a family member, they just want nothing out of their pocket to be incurred and they get reimbursed for medical expenses and medications and things like that. But sometimes family members are paid for other things, for lost wages, or if she's had a C-section, reimbursement of childcare, things like that. So if you're considering working with a family member in Florida, of course, it's legally permissible. All the same steps need to be taken with a family member, and it would be important that everybody speaks to their own attorney at the beginning of the process so they understand what's involved in proceeding with a family member as a surrogate. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to chat about this further. And thank you so much for listening to the Surrogacy Space.